Hello beautiful people, happy Sunday, happy 7/7 portal, and welcome to your practical application of astrology. This will be my last one from Bansko, Bulgaria, because I am going to be moving again next week. So yeah, I'll be going back to Slovakia and then subsequently to England. So 1 week from now, I'll be in England. So it's just going to be a crazy busy week. But anyway, let's just stay present in this present moment and take a deep breath. And let's just dive in. So as I did yesterday, I would like to introduce a new practice and actually consciously invite my guides and my higher self on the stage, because we have Moon in the sign of Leo, and to participate in this recording, because they always do anyway, but I don't really mention it very often. So I would like to open the space and invite my guides and my higher self and all the light being that would like to contribute towards this message that we will be recording and conveying, and for those who are watching it, to serve the highest purpose. And thank you everyone for being here. So, as I already mentioned, this is my last recording from Bansko, Bulgaria. We just experienced the new moon in Cancer, which I briefly touched up on yesterday in my astrological forecast. That hit me pretty hard. I do have moon in Cancer, which I keep mentioning because this is every month happening. Every month when moon is in Cancer, I feel like, oh my gosh, something just hit me. And this new moon in Cancer was very potent, as we might be aware. Of course, it was squaring the nodes, pointing to the north node, and saying that, well, it's time to start doing things differently. It's time to try to resolve this, whatever it is that we are experiencing in our personal or collective reality, and we don't particularly like or resonate with anymore, to try to resolve it in a different way. And of course, we know in order to experience different reality, we need to change. And this is the process. This is the process of this new moon in Cancer. There was an invitation for this new sense of identity to be brought online, because everything that always happened, everything that we've always been, exists within us. That will not go away. It will always be part of us. It's in the Akash. Everything that ever happened is recorded, but we don't have to keep recreating the same wheel and keep going over the same patterns and experience the same suffering, whether that's in our personal lives or that what we experiencing as a collective stage. And it is time for change. And as we know, we are now preparing for this Uranus and Mars conjunction, which is going to be potentially quite unexpected, because Uranus, expect unexpected, that will be on Monday the 15th, a week from now. And who knows what that's going to bring with itself. But Uranus is all about evolution. It's all about going forward. Uranus is the rule of Pluto. Pluto is retrograde, which is taking us inwards. Since last week, both Saturn and Neptune are retrograde, so everything is taking us inwards. And the main message I want to share in this video is that when I arrived in Bansko, Bulgaria almost a month ago now, because as I shared, my 3-month stay here turned into 1 month because of the logistics, and I was not in a best place, because there was all these shocks that took place, that I wasn't aware about, all these matrix rules that we unfortunately all have to play by, because that's the reality we are experiencing at the moment and co-creating. Of course, nobody is a victim here. I had to take the time. And I remember when I first arrived, and especially my parents, because they're very traditional, they tried to bombard me with the questions I didn't have the answer for. And I said, I am not making any decisions. I'm not going to make any decisions, because I don't want to make decisions from this lower vibrational state of limitation, because the higher is our frequency and vibration, and this is not, it is not like a hierarchy. It is not like, oh, this is better or worse or something, but the higher we vibrate, that we are able to tune into more possibilities, more opportunities. There are more options that become available to us, because we can see a higher picture. It's like a higher perspective, right? So when I first arrived in Bulgaria, I was quite sad. I was quite upset about the situations, about the unexpected changes of plans. I was really looking forward to staying here for 3 months, because this is the one and only place in my entire life so far where I had the place to myself, and I just been able to just just do my own thing, even though in Mexico it was similar, but I didn't have my own place. I shared the accommodation with other people, so it wasn't quite the same thing. So I was really, really looking forward to coming here and having another cocoon, having another opportunity to go and hide and just disconnect from everything and everyone. And then I was disappointed, like my ego was hurt, like, oh, come on, I've been waiting for this like all year, and now you're telling me I cannot stay? What do you mean? So that's why, because I was in this like victimhood mentality in a sense, and resistance mode and stuff, I didn't want to make decisions, because all the options that presented themselves straight away as a resolution to my situation, I saw as limited. I saw like, okay, well, I have done that in the past, like I don't think this is going to work, because I am not the same person I was when I applied these solutions, and I don't feel that is the right way for me, but I don't know what else to do. Like I didn't have the answers. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna put this on a back burner. I'm gonna focus on myself. I'm gonna focus on my healing. I'm gonna inquire within and find out whatever I find out, and then who knows, let's see what happens, right? And then the longer I stayed here, even though the time has gone so fast, it's just like as we all know, the time is operating in a very different way, and it's running at a very different speed, and we are experiencing time and the passage of time very differently, and it's just gone so quickly. But it feels so many changes happened throughout this past month that I was here. And as I already shared last week, I experienced the Digital Nomad Festival, which created some challenges to my belief systems and perceptions, my stories that I tell myself and I'm attached to. And I had certain realizations, and then universe was being very kind to me, because actually removed certain distractions from my life. Like I said, the job that I thought I was going to take and stay in England became unavailable. So it was much easier to actually tune in and find the answer that was from the place of heart, rather than logical mind, because the logical mind straight away goes for the what worked in the past. Okay, like, okay, well, let's just go back to England, get a job, stay there, la la la, like everything is available in England. It's just right there at the click of your finger, right? And it's just fine, right? And I was like trying to not resist any scenario. I was like, okay, well, if that's what's gonna happen, that's what's gonna happen. What can you do, right? Even though I was like, like, oh, I have to sacrifice. And as I already mentioned, my friend said, well, you can't look at it that way. You just say, okay, I'm surrendering. I'm not sacrificing, I'm surrendering. And then the situation changed again, because the job became unavailable. So it was, okay, I have no job now, I have nowhere to stay. Let's just tune in. Let's just not think logically, because the logical solutions to my situation, to the problems I've been experiencing, they are not available. Okay, so let's just try to think differently. Let's just try to resolve this situation differently. So then suddenly I got these other ideas. Like I was doing yoga, and I got this inspiration that, oh, why don't I go and stay with my good friend in the US? Like, why don't I don't have to stay in the UK. I just can't come back to Europe. I mean, I could to certain countries, but majority of them not. But I'm not imprisoned by staying in the UK. I can go somewhere else. And then that felt really aligned, and I started feeling so excited, and I was like, yeah, why did I not think of that before? Like my inner child just was like, yeah, like doing somersaults and stuff. And then on Friday, on the day of the cancer, well, for me it happened Saturday early morning after midnight, but for majority of people it happened on Friday. But I had lunar return. Last Friday I had a lunar return, so I had my moon being reset. And actually it's so interesting, because last Monday, so 6 days ago, I was like literally blown away when I saw it. The sun in Cancer conjuncted my sun, and the moon in Taurus the sun in Cancer conjuncted my moon, and the moon in Taurus at the beginning of this week conjuncted my sun at the same time. I mean, you can't make this up, which is like this complete rebirth of identity, right? And then on Friday, I have a lunar return, the moon moving into a sign of Cancer. And on that day, Like it was like all these different realities were happening simultaneously. Suddenly I had a conversation with a very good friend of mine who gave me these amazing insights, and she said, like, you already know the answers, just follow your heart, you know what is the right thing for you, you know what makes you feel inspired, excited, just go with that. Like, why are you even questioning yourself? Just, you know, just you already know the answer, right? And and then within the same afternoon I received a message from my boss saying, "Oh, the job is available." Like only a day before, I received a message from my friend saying, "Oh, you can stay in this place. You know, like there is a place available for you for very affordable price." So suddenly, the distractions that were being removed to help me to actually find what I felt with my heart was the right answer for me. Now these distractions were being put back in. So you know, universe always tests us because it wants us to become strong in our trust in ourselves. So you know, like there are all these distractions, it's very hard because it's too many choices, too many things to choose from. So we get the hand up, you know, the universe helps us, and they'll go, okay, let's make it a little bit easier because it's too confusing, it's too much of a, you know, it's a test for a higher class, you know, like when you are on the next what is it at school, you know, the next class, you know, like what do you call it, you know, when the kids moved from one age to the next age, you know, like you go from primary school to secondary and stuff. So the universe said, okay, well, she's not ready for that, let's make it easier, right? So it made it easier, you know. So then I got it, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, I know what is the right thing. And then universe said, okay, she's ready for that test. She wasn't ready before, now she's ready. So let's put back all the distractions, you know, all these other options, you know, the ABCD answers, right? You already know what is the right answer, but now there are all these other options. So you start doubting yourself, like, oh, but you know, like maybe I'm wrong, maybe I remember it wrong, maybe this is also true, you know, like you know. So literally within same day, and then another situation happened which, you know, offered another solution to the situation, which was of a completely different nature, not in alignment, but like, oh yeah, you can also resolve the situation this way, you know, like it's not really authentic to you, and the decision would definitely not come from the heart, you know, but there is another options, you know, there are the options to resolve. So suddenly within one day I became so confused, and this was right before the new moon in Cancer. I became so confused because then the ego kicked in again. You know, the ego got calm because it was like, okay, well, all my old options got maxed out. They're not available. So, you know, the ego just gone chilling because it was like, okay, well, you know, I don't know what else to say, right? And then the heart kicked in and said like, oh, how about this one? And I'm like, yeah, that feels good. And then things change. And then the ego comes back online and say, ooh, okay, these old options are available, these old solutions. So yeah, of course, we need to do that, of course, because that's what we did in the past and it worked, you know, and this is the right way, right? So the ego says, because the ego tries to protect its identity, and you know, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, but we have a new moon that is squaring the nodes and pointing to the north node. That is saying that maybe the old way is not going to work anymore, and of course it doesn't feel in alignment. And when I go and do the body test, the feeling test, like, okay, if I imagine this scenario, how do I feel? And if I imagine that scenario, how do I feel? And of course, straight away, I know which one feels better, right? You know, but then you know, like if the mind gets engaged, we start doubting ourselves, and then we start justifying it and making excuses like, oh, you know, like my good friends say, well, maybe you need to do a short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And this is again the story we were all being told. Didn't you hear that from your parents? You know, like maybe you didn't, but I did, and I'm sure many other people did. I sacrificed for you. You know, I did all this for you, so you have a better life. But when we look at it from the perspective of frequency and vibration, how is the frequency of sacrifice going to create anything other than sacrifice, right? I mean, like attracts like. So if the child observes the parent sacrificing, it's also gonna sacrifice. Okay, it's gonna sacrifice maybe in a different way, but it will be familiar, this frequency of sacrifice, that, oh yeah, you know, I need to work hard. I don't want to be poor, so now I have to work hard to be not poor, you know, like, but it's the same frequency, right? So that's why, like, you know, straight away my Aquarius kicks off and goes, was like, no, this doesn't make sense. Like, how would me sacrificing anything going to lead to anything other than sacrifice? It's built on the same frequency. And I know a lot of people might disagree and, challenge this, but this is how I feel about this situation. So I was like, I don't feel that if I sacrifice and put myself through something that feels completely out of alignment, doesn't feel good, makes my inner child totally unhappy and like shut down, like, seriously, you're doing this to me again? Like, really? It's like self-betrayal. The sacrifice is a self-betrayal. There is no other way to put it, right? So I was like, no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that you have to sacrifice. There has to be other way, because this is again the limitation of the mind, which say there is no other way. It's either this way or that way. You either do it or you don't do it, and then you don't get it, right? But there are different ways. And I'm sure if you ask Pluto Sagittarius is, and I mean, my Pluto is in the 9th house, same thing, not quite, but similar. If you ask Pluto Sagittarius, these young kids, they have a million different ideas how you can resolve the problem. Like, obviously we know that we're all born with iPhone and iPad and iPod, well, not iPad, iPod in their hand. So they will just figure it out. They will, okay, well, let's go and figure it out, right? Or these little one, Pluto Capricorns, that are building cities and, and doing their job interviews, as my friend had shared, as her 8-year-old, and previously when her older daughter was younger, like, they all doing this online already when they're little, so by the time they get to the age where they have to do this, it's like, easy, easy, I've done this a million times already, so this is the thing, right? So when we convince our ego mind, when our ego mind tries to convince us, it says, well, of course we need to do it this way, because that's the way we've always done it, and this is the proof. Your parents did it that way, your grandparents did it that way, and then in my case, not saying everybody's story, all right? I'm just sharing my experience over here. When I look at my family, all I can see is a life of sacrifice, even now, like, are they happy? No, but this is what they know. This is what is familiar. It's kind of like comfortable. It is so familiar, it kind of became comfortable. They don't even want it any other way. They just want it that way, right? So, it's this continuous me having to step up for myself, like become the Capricorn and put my boundaries and say, I hear you and I appreciate you, and I, of course, I am grateful, for what you have done, and you trying it that way, which now offers me to see the result of that way, like doing it that way and where it led, I can see the result of that, because, like, I can see how my parents did their life, right? Or, I'm just using my personal examples, because I, cannot speak for other people, obviously, but this is not what I want, so I know, obviously, for me to create a different solution, different outcome, I need to do something different. I need to have a different approach. I need to use different tools, and sacrifice is not part of my it's not part of my strategy. Okay, so again, I know that this might be challenging or triggering to people, and people might want to challenge me, and that's perfectly fine. And absolutely, we all have are entitled to our opinion and approach, but I'm just saying that, especially now, and this is so in alignment with the astrology, is insane. We have this Cancer new moon, which is saying we need to become a new version of ourselves. These old labels, these old identities, they are maxed out, okay? They are all maxed out. We need to change this. For me personally, the moon was closing to the new moon. So my identity is maxed out, literally. I am just about to have Pluto square Pluto next year, and Neptune square Neptune is maxed out. It's like, sorry, you need to change. That's it. You need to go through metamorphosis now. There is no other way. And this moon actually trying my South Node. And it was a wide degree, but it also tried my Pluto, it tried my Saturn, it opposed my Neptune, it squared, and this was actually not a wide degree, it squared my Venus and my Mercury, and it's like, it was just, my chart was on fire, seriously. So it's saying like, no, you need to change, there's no other way, okay? So it's so interesting that on the same day, like I said, I already had the answer, I was sure, I felt aligned, it all felt right. And then all you need to do is just tune the volume back on. you know. So when we turn the volume down and you cannot hear all this distraction and all this noise and everybody giving you their opinion, you know, and the world and the inner the inner voice, the ego mind, you know, the chitty chatter in our head. And this is why, you know, we need to learn to turn it off, you know, with this, like, whether it's whatever type of meditation or relaxation it is for you, when we need to learn to turn that voice in our head off, because how else we gonna hear the heart, you know? Like, if the voice is constantly nagging at us and, oh, but this is what happened and I have a proof and la 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 la, and remember how that happened and that didn't work and this is how you end up, blah 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 blah, or it did, or whatever, you know, we cannot even hear our you know, in our heart, because we are in this constant flight and fright, you know, like, oh, I need to do something quickly, you know. And we cannot hear the heart, we cannot hear the soul. It's like, it's too noisy out there, right? So the universe did me a favor and tuned it down. It said, okay, let me remove all this noise, you know, like it's all on a mute. And now, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear the voice of your heart? Can you hear the voice of your soul? What is it saying to you? And then it's like, oh yeah, I can hear it. And then it puts it back up. Like, okay, but you need to learn to do this for yourself. You need to become strong and resilient. You know, it's the year number strength, year number 8, which is the strength, right? We need to become resilient and strong and trust ourselves, right? Mars is in Taurus. Trust ourselves, build this new foundation. Mars is just about to conjunct Uranus on the 15th. You know, it's already within the degree conjunction. Mars is closing to Uranus. It's saying, yes, you know, we need to go beyond this. We need to go beyond that. Mars is going to start a new cycle with Uranus, you know, and this is a very different energy to when they conjuncted last time, when Mars was the ruler of the South Node, traditionally, you know, like it was in Scorpio, but still. You know, so this is a very different energy. It's saying like, no, sorry, like this is not gonna work anymore. So when the universe turned the noise back up, I was like, oh, what am I doing now? It's too much noise, it's too much distraction. But in essence, nothing changed. The answer is still the same. You know, there's just all these other distractions that are telling you what else you can be doing, right? But when we learn to, how my friend says with the strength card, we need to learn to tame the beast within. But it's not that, you know, like we are not a beast, but it's the human self and it's the higher self. You know, like on the strength card, you have the woman in a white that is taming the lion, right? The lion is the physical form, is the human form, is when we are incarnate. The higher self is the woman in light, in white, you know, the angelic being that is always trying to navigate us, but sometimes we just go, wow, you know, we just go wild and we don't listen, and we just like full of, you know, we are just full of our passions and stuff, you know, but in that, you know, in that like anger and stuff, and it's you know, it's all good, it's all by its purpose. But anyway, you know, to make this a little bit simple, because I'm half an hour talking about the same thing. It's so insane how this astrology is playing out literally. Like, obviously, I have no idea how this is playing out in other people's life. I know for me and my soul sister, because we talk about this, which is very helpful for me, because, you know, it helps me to process this, you know, these breadcrumbs. And yeah, and this is literally what it is. You know, everybody is still in a sign of Cancer. Venus is just about to move on the 11th, but she's still in a sign of Cancer. She was in a new phase conjunction with the new moon in Cancer, just like she was with the new moon in Gemini. We need to think in a new way. We need to feel what we feel to help us understand what is the right way. You know, Mercury is now in Leo, which is say connect with your heart. You know, while Mercury was going through the sign of Cancer, it said, can you hear the voice of your soul? Can you hear it, right? And can we hear it when there is all these distractions and all these you know, all this BS that's going on in the world, which is like you know, I mean, seriously, like, why would I even lose any of my time trying to follow news or, you know, any of these things that are going on in the world right now, election and stuff, where this is already decided, you know, this is already decided. Like, why am I wasting my time and energy and even breath right now to try to focus my energy on something that I cannot control, that, you know, it's already decided, because these things are... Anyway, you know, without going into details, but I think people know what I'm implying here. Doesn't matter. What can you do? You know, what can you change in your life? You know, like, we need to change how we feel about ourselves. Do we feel strong about ourselves? And just like I was tested on Friday, do I trust myself when the noise is back on? You know, when all this external environment is trying to influence me and say, oh, how about this? How about that? All the devil, you know, all the devil, which is all this like, well, this would be easy, wouldn't it? You know, this would be much easier, and this would be much easier too. But you've done it before. I've done it all before. This is how I tried to resolve situations in the past, and it didn't work. It didn't make me happy. I literally, like, before I quit my job in 2022, I was depressed. I was like going around hugging trees and crying like a crazy person. I was so depressed. I was so unhappy. I felt I was dying inside. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think it's going to make me happy now. If I go back to that, it's going to make me happy now. And again, I was being challenged by someone I met at the festival, and he said, like, well, but there's nothing wrong with the job. It doesn't mean that now everybody has to work for themselves. And I'm like, there isn't nothing wrong. I never said it was. I just said it doesn't work for me. But I'm not saying it's it doesn't work for some people. Or also, if I was to work for someone, like Lee Harris, or someone who I deeply respect, and me with my work is contributing towards a bigger vision, bigger picture in collaboration and co-creation with someone else, and even if I'm on that person's, what you call it, employee list, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, yeah, sure, but there has to be the Aquarius. There has to be the Aquarian nature. We have to be in resonance. We have to share the same values, and vision, and respect one another, right? But I mean, how many people can say that they work for an employer that, they share the vision with, and they agree with the company's policies and, the products, or the way the products are made, and the impact on the environment, and, the way their boss treats them, or how they're being paid, or whatever, how many people can say that, so, and I'm not saying now everybody quit their job and go kumbaya or something. No, I'm just saying we need to start thinking differently. We need to start thinking like, why am I doing this? Yes, okay, we all need to survive. We need to pay bills. We, not me personally, but a lot of people have children to feed and stuff, and everybody's feeling stuck because of the setup of the matrix, because of the construct. But there must be a way. There must be a way, but we're trying to resolve these situations with the same solutions. Okay, I'll just do overtime, or I'll just get another job that pays me more, but it's the same thing, right? That is going to lead to the same result, because everything is continuously becoming more expensive, right? So even if we earn more money, or get more bonuses or something, you're gonna be in the same position because the inflation and all the rest of it, right? So okay, well, this is not resolving the situation. I am still stressed. I am still overworked. I don't have time for myself. I'm depressed. I'm popping pills or drinking or doing something just so I can escape my pain, right? This is not resolving anything. Right? And I'm not saying like, oh, I don't have the answers. I don't have the solution. What I'm saying is how this showed up for me. And yeah, my situation is much more simplified because I don't have dependence. But I'm just saying, when we can create, and I was lucky. Well, I was lucky. I'm grateful that universe allowed for these few days. There was like a week period when, the noise was being turned down, and there was not other options. Like, there were none of these viable options, the options of the past available. So I had to come try to figure it out different way. But there must be a different way. And this is what I mean. This is happening for each of us individually. And I can't tell you what is the solution, because if I tell you, it's not the right solution for you, because I can't know what is the right solution for you. This is the Cancer, this is the Leo. Who are you, and who do you want to become, and what makes you feel happy? The Leo, what gives you the sense of joy, and this, like I was describing yesterday in my astrological forecast, when whatever it is, when you're doing, when you just, the time disappears, and this is why my videos are so bloody long, because when I talk about these things, even though, in this case, you can say, well, she's just talking about herself, but when I'm talking about astrology, or, like coming up with these ideas or downloads, or, like having aha moments and trying to, understand it, or bring it down to earth and explain it in a way that makes sense, so then potentially, hopefully, it could be applied into practical application. The time disappears, like when I speak to my friend, we can talk for 3 hours, and it's like, oh, is it been that long, and everybody experienced that. So what it is that you love doing when time just disappears, and some people love their job, and some people even love their boss, and that's fantastic, and I wish everybody could say that. I couldn't, even though, I had a quite good boss, but I just don't do bosses. I don't like working for nobody, and I don't like the restrictions of, oh, you have to be here at this time and work this much and have break at this time. And yeah, and most people will probably say, well, sorry, love, this is how it is. This is the world we live in. Wake up and grow up. This is not what I believe in. This is not what I feel. It has to be this way. This is just because it's always been. This is exactly the cancer. This is exactly the cancer. It's the memory of the past that is keeping us trapped. And this is why we just had new moon in Cancer that was square in the nodes, pointing to the North Node. And Mars is in Taurus, close into Uranus. And, the obviously ruler of the moon was the moon, because it was a Cancer new moon. But Sun is the ruler of Mercury, the communication, right? And Mercury is in Leo. It's no, we need to learn to listen to our heart, because we want to see a happy world, right? Majority of people want to feel, they just don't want any more wars, no conflict, no division. Most people, like majority of people, just want peace. They just want peace, and they want to be happy, and they just want to do whatever makes them happy, and, want their families to be happy, and just have the resources they need to be able to do that, to be able to have that kind of life, right? It's in a sense quite simple. It's just like, okay, how we make it happen, right? Especially in this matrix that's been constructed to keep everybody too busy on a hamster wheel to actually be able to even feel anything, right? It's just like, oh my God, it's just too fast, right? So if you want to create this kind of world, how many people feel this way inside, So this is the thing. How can we expect the world to become this way if all these people that are creating this world, that make, the world, all of us together, this is the world, right? How many of these people live this way and feel this way? So how can we expect to create and experience something which we don't even know what it is and how it feels and how to do it, right? So this is how we need to start focusing on, like I said, have these moments, be able to create these moments for ourselves where we can turn off the noise of the media, social media, whatever it is, what your husband is saying, what your mother is saying, or your father, or whoever, doesn't matter. Just turn off the noise, put it all on mute, and tune in what my heart is telling me. How do I feel? Why do I feel so stressed or tired or frustrated or whatever all the time? Like, oh, my needs are not being met. Oh, okay, what are my needs? Oh, I need more rest, or I need to be able to just put my feet up and not to talk to nobody and just listen to my favorite music, or I don't know, paint or something, or dance, like at least half an hour every day, or something. So this is how we get to know what do I need and who am I, like many people even would say, like, I lost myself in that relationship or in that job or whatever, like how many people would say, like, well, I like you enter into any kind of relationship. This is, obviously the most tangible and felt it's in romantic relationship, but anything is relationship, your job is relationship, your relationship with your friends, everything is relationship. How we tend to lose ourselves. We lose ourselves and we sacrifice, because this is this is the frequency that we all been told by the Pisces age. Sacrifice, the lower vibration of Neptune, but that doesn't then leave much space for creativity, right? And also for this, like, self-actualization, but this joy, because it's like, let me quickly think about it. Yeah, between Neptune and Leo is in conjunction, of course there is. So between Neptune and Leo is in conjunction, so we can't see, because if we sacrifice, we can't see. But also if we are too much in our ego, of this, oh, I'm so fixated, so attached to how this was, the legacy of the past, Leo can be very sentimental, the legacy of the past, this is how it was, this is, when, for example, people are actors and, they had this moment of fame when everybody admired them, and then life moves on, and then there are other actors that get the same accolades or something, and it's this memory of the past. But this is who I was and what I felt at that moment, and I want to feel it again. But you will never be the same person, and it will never be exactly the same, so this is again the in conjunction between Leo and Neptune the other way. We cannot see the deeper meaning or the higher picture, or that, that now this person that is having the experience you had 10 years ago or 20 years ago, they are part of you and you are part of them, and these people just showing you what is possible. Or even, like when I look at people who are, have hundreds and thousands thousands of subscribers and whatever, and I can look and think like, oh yeah, you know, they made it. And you know, like this, like the fact that these people exist, it makes it possible for everyone. You know, it makes it possible for everyone. It's the inspiration and motivation. Is not meant to act as a, oh, because they have it, I can't have it, because the, you know, market is oversaturated, which is again the story. It's the story that just because all these people have that or achieve that or are that, there is no space for you. But that's BS, because nobody is ever going to be able to do anything exactly the way you do it, or because you put in your essence into it. Your expression is the Leo, you know. So anyway, how did we even get to this, you know, from what I started talking about? It literally is that, you know, when we remove this noise and we are able to tune in and get to really understand ourselves and get to decide for ourselves, who do I actually want to be? You know, what version of all these million identities that are available to you and live inside of you, because you are the universe. You know, you are the universe that wants to be that wants to manifest itself, you know. Like, which one do I want to become? You know, do I still want to be this starving artist, or this, you know, unappreciated worker, or this, you know, doormat wife or something, or whatever, you know? I mean, it could be the other way. It could be that this admired person or something, you know, and everybody just loves you for your looks or for your kindness or for what you can do for others. Like, it doesn't matter what is the label or what is the story. It's up to us, with the Jupiter being in Gemini, you know, Mercury being in Leo. This is the time, especially with this new moon in Cancer squaring the nose pointing to North Node, and Mars being in Taurus closing to Uranus. This is the time to create a new foundation, to decide what it is that we take in with ourselves to the next cycle and leaving behind, because we're going to create a new foundation that is going to support this new version of you that you want to become. And you have a choice. We all have a choice. So going back to my personal example, I had the opportunity to decide, you know, I mean, I haven't booked the flights or anything, you know, with regards to my other solution to the situation, because there are still certain pieces of the puzzle that I would like to, you know, get before I made a decision, which, you know, then who knows, you know, taking the risk that the choice might or might not be available. And, you know, like, I'm not saying I mastered it, you know, I'm not saying I mastered it, that I 100%, you know, can trust myself or know what is the right answer. No, but this was the prime example of how this is showing up. It's literally, it's so perfect, you know, when we start paying this attention and see these glitches in the matrix, and even the fact that actually my old job became available, but the conditions of me going back to it are completely undesirable for me. You know, it's just like the worst case scenario, you know, like a complete reconstruction of the, you know, like, anyway, you know, it's just too much hard work. It's just too much. It's not like, oh, you just come and take where you left off. It's just like, it would involve too much hard work. And I'm like, it's not like I'm lazy and I don't want to put the work in, but the point is, what is it for? What am I trying to achieve? Is this what I want? And if not, why am I wasting my time? Where there is something else that makes me feel inspired and you know, like alive, and it feels like, oh yeah, this is the portal, this is the gateway to this new way, which I don't even know exactly where it's gonna lead, but it makes me feel alive. It makes me feel excited, where this other thing is like, well, that thing is dead. That thing already died 2 years ago. Why do I keep going back to it? You know, do I think that I'm gonna get any more blood out of it or something? You know, it's already dead. It was dead 2 years ago. There was a reason why it ended. You know, in the end, again, you know, we can say, like, even with regards to relationships that don't write it off, people change. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You know, but usually the, you know, relationships end for a reason, because people learn the lessons, and not everybody can play a different role, you know, which is also what I keep saying with regards to, like, families. You know, sometimes, yeah, our parents will have an awakening and completely change and whatever, but it's too complicated. You know, sometimes the soul doesn't want to play so many complex roles, and especially so many opposing roles. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There is no judgment. You know, it's again what the soul is desiring. Is the soul desiring to play the role of a teacher, to represent and present the, what is it? What's the word for it? Contrast. Or is it like, okay, I play this role until you change and then I change and then we play different roles? It is possible, you know, but it doesn't happen all that often. But it is possible, everything is possible at this stage, you know. But that's the thing, you see. So we need to learn to decide for ourselves. And this is literally the message of this new moon in Cancer. This is the most important thing that's coming through with this new moon in Cancer, do we know how to turn off the noise of the external world so we can tune in, connect with our heart, connect with our intuition, with the voice of our soul that is guiding us to this new you that you came here to become. It's not like one version of you. We all came here with multiple purposes, and it's not just one singular linear thing. But now is the time with this new moon in Cancer. This is like, now is the time, because it's pointing to the North Node, and Mars is in Taurus. It's the creation of the new foundation, right? Now is the time. So, and I mean, things keep going, like then we're gonna have Mars moving into Gemini, and then it's full moon in Capricorn again, and then we have Mars conjunct in Jupiter, and la 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 la, things continuously will keep going and evolving and growing. But right now, this is the energy, and this is how it showed up for me. That, do I still allow this external environment to influence my decisions, even though the choices that I am being presented by, in many cases, not all the time, because sometimes we have people from the external environment that are the messengers that bring this new opportunity or something, but it's up to us to discern, is this the right thing for me? Does it feel aligned or not? But if we just rely on the past, the past solution, past way of doing things and stuff, which we already tried and they didn't work, it's very unlikely they will work now, and this is also like with regards to the bigger picture where, we are being told, like, I don't know, for example, you go to work and you save for 20 years and, whatever, and then you can retire early and it's all gonna be hunky-dory like it was for our parents or something. But this is illusion, because that is not the same world. Like the times where our parents did all this, like this life insurance and stuff, it was a different world. These people are already retired, but like by the time we retire in 20, 30 years or more, if ever, who knows if we're even gonna retire, because the world will be a very different place. These things might not work anymore, so that's why there is nothing wrong with, I want to save up for whatever rainy day or that house or something. But my question always is, which is something that obviously, I adopted from Lee Harris, because, he at the moment is my, great inspiration, when he channeled these and they said, well, if somebody told you, you have 1 month to live, and who knows? That nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, who knows? We all just living under the assumption that we all gonna live 100 years or 80 years at least, right? And some will, some won't. We just don't know, right? It's like a Russian roulette, isn't it? So how would we live? How would we spend this last 1 month or something? So this is the thing, like, yeah, absolutely, we need to be practical. We're living on planet Earth. We need to pay bills and we need to, pay for rent and buy food and all the rest of it, right? But am I still living? Am I sacrificing? Am I like putting everything aside and living like a beggar, emotionally, spiritually, and physically for this future that might or might not come? So there is nothing wrong with having a vision and taking a precaution towards it, but it's about, am I living at the moment? Am I still happy? Am I still able to be myself and be self-actualized? And yes, of course, there has to be a balance. Yeah, like I said, I don't have it all figured out. I'm just, sharing my musings with regards to the things that have been popping up for me, which I feel are worth sharing, because I mean, it's so simple. But in a sense, how often do we have time to think about these things and, just go like, oh yeah, it makes sense, right? Doesn't it? So this is what I feel is going on, that we no longer can just make a decision based on, past experiences and, what somebody else tried or somebody else is advising. Yeah, it might be supportive, it might not, but we have to make the decision that is right for us. Even though all these people advising, they have the best intention and they're sharing, this is what worked for me. And like I said, sometimes it's helpful, like when I went to this festival, a lot of people gave me advice and a lot of it was helpful, but it has to be in alignment with my bigger picture, with my purpose, with what I want. Not like, oh yeah, you go and get a job and sacrifice 1 year of your life and do a job you absolutely hate. And yeah, just as long as it pays money. And then maybe after 1 year, you'll be able to move on with what you want, right? Well, I might be dead in 1 year, So yeah, so I mean, I can be a little bit extreme with these examples, but no, no, this doesn't feel right for me. It doesn't feel right in my body. It doesn't feel right for my soul. It feels like I'm already dead. I can already tap into the frequency of being dead, you know? So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. That doesn't feel expansive. It doesn't feel alive. So yeah, and I really feel that, especially like with all the things that's been popping up on my radar, that universe just wants us to say yes. Say yes to something you've never said yes to. And like, obviously, again, you know, we have to discern, like, okay, don't go, you know, jumping out of the building without parachute and stuff, like, you know, be discerning. But, you know, like, for example, like I said, this trip to US, this has been available for me for a while, and I was always like, oh no, it's not the right time, making excuses and stuff. And now I'm like, well, why the hell not? Why the hell not? You know, it's not like I have a better place to be, right? So why the hell not? And it's again, I don't know who am I going to meet, what am I going to see, what is going to get activated for me being in that place with these people, and whatever, you just never know. You know, like literally one thing can change the rest of your life, you know? Meeting someone, talking to someone, getting, you know, I don't know, a download from someplace because the stars are aligned, because, you know, whatever, you are on that, whichever line is passing through that country for you on your chart or something. We just never know. But if we keep doing the same things over and over again and they don't work, we're not going to get anywhere other than where we are, right? So this is why I feel it's so important to be able to put the noise of the external on mute, to be able to process all of this inwardly and tap into our heart and listen to our intuition. And then, of course, ground it, bring it back to earth. Mars is in Taurus after all, you know, it is a practical sign, it is an earth sign. So bring it back to earth then, and just follow that which feels the most joyous, the most expansive. Because what's the point otherwise? This is all Leo, you know. We came here to have an experience that has a multiplicity of different things, different emotions interwoven in it, but we didn't come here just to suffer and sacrifice. So anyway, guys, I'm just going in circles, and I don't even know if I conveyed the message the way that I felt it, because sometimes the world just fail, you know, the world just fail. Like, even when I'm trying to express some things to my friend, you know, I'm like, I don't even know how to describe this. I just don't have the words for it, you know, but I know what it feels like, and it just somehow clicks within. So anyway, okay, let me read the channeled message. You know, I was being brave because I know we have a serious gateway opened at the moment. So I was like, okay, what is our star family from Sirius? What our star family from Sirius would like to share with us today? You know, so I'm being brave. You know, I'm trying to push my boundaries and going like, okay, well, maybe some other beings want to come through, not just my higher self. You know. So anyway, so this is what I got, and obviously discern for yourself whether that resonates or not. You're experiencing a process of rebirth individually and collectively. It is a messy and sometimes a very painful process, but it's also an incredibly beautiful one, full of wonder. Birth in itself is a pure alchemical miracle. You just forgot to see it that way. This process of rebirth is more of a spiritual and energetical, nature than physical, although there are some physical symptoms associated with it. It's all about allowing the new versions of you to come online, and for those old roles that you played to step aside because their mission has been completed. There will always be a memory and lessons remembered. However, a new role and a new purpose is presenting itself, and so the identity of one's one who is going to be stepping into it has to change. This is not always easy, nor it is supposed to be. The soul wants to grow and evolve through challenges, not just easy, pleasant experiences, even though these are part of the process also. It's the contrast that represents the totality. How would you know what you are capable of being and achieving wouldn't you have never been tested if you never had to change? Change is life, and life is change. Oh my god, what is this word? Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't read after myself. This sometimes happens. The continuous process of rebirth is a part of it. You are going through many rebirths throughout one's life. Some are more noticeable than others. Your body regenerates itself all the time. Your mind also grows and expands, and the perception of reality changes in accordance to that. However, this time is much more noticeable, much more deeply felt. You might not even know what exactly is happening or what all of that means. It's hard to put these concepts into the words that would fully describe the nature of these happenings. Spoken language is helpful for the mind, but very limiting for the soul. There is too much that cannot be put into the words to be understood. You are learning a new way of communicating and connecting with the multitudes of realities you are and always have been interacting with. You are just becoming more aware of it at this time. The more layers of the past conditioning, past labels and identities and attachments to those are released, the easier it will become to understand the unseen, to understand and connect with the unseen. There is no limitation, no cap on what you can become and what you can experience in this lifetime. The boundaries, structures, and restrictions of the tangible realities are dissolving now. The separation between the visible and invisible is crumbling and falling away. It was built from lies and illusions. It was never real and it was never meant to last. There are constant and more frequent glitches in the matrix, the constructs of your current reality. It's much easier than ever before to see clearly now, because the veil and spells that had been playing their roles are being lifted, because they are not needed anymore. You are ready. Humanity is ready to rise to its full potential, to step into the purpose your soul chose to self-actualize through, as a sovereign being that you all are. To allow follow your heart, the pathway, the gateway to your soul. Follow the unseen. Beware, it will not make sense to the logical mind. It will not offer any guarantees. You are and will be continuously tested and will continue to be tested. You need to learn to trust and build your spiritual strength and resilience. You were born for this, and you are equipped with all that you need to succeed this mission. You are protected and supported by us and many others. You are never alone, and you are never forgotten. Rise and follow the voice of your heart and soul. You are ready for this change. You are being reborn and nurtured by the light to prepare you for stepping into your true authentic self and the purpose you came here to actualize. Trust yourself. You already have all the answers. We are just reminding you of what you already know. Your soul is eternal and magnificent, and it is you. It all lives within you. Remember and take the first steps towards your destiny. You are and will be supported always. Okay, as you can see, I struggled to read it because I was writing it so fast that my writing is even worse than usual. And yeah, anyway. Oh my gosh, it's almost an hour and I have 5 decks. So it doesn't look like I'll be able to use all of that. It's just very unfortunate that time is passing so quickly. so quickly that we usually never get everything that we want done. So anyway, let's just see what we can get. So I'm going to use the Oracle of the Seven Energies, because it was a tie between this and the energy oracle that I used yesterday. So I was like, okay, let's use this one today. So the Oracle of the Seven Energies, which also speaks of our chakras. So let's see what we've got in here. Guidance. Okay, what does the Oracle of the Seven Energies want to tell us? What is the message? Okay, there is a card. Wish upon a star. Oh my god, if anybody watched my astrological forecast till the end, the energy oracle from Sandra and Taylor, one of the cards that I pulled was called Wishing Well. I mean, you can't make this up. 39, which is what? 12, number 3, expansion. Look at that. It's time to wish upon a star. And at the bottom is the great and full, the grateful, yeah? Is the 4. The structure of the reality we are creating has to be built on gratitude and appreciation and understanding that everything served its purpose. You know, having the cup full and be grateful for it. Yeah, but wishing on a star. So if we want to achieve this that we want, we have to be grateful for what we have and understand the meaning of everything. Because our lives are already full. But of course, there is always a room for more when we acknowledge what we already have. So anyway, let's see about this wish upon a star. But this is just like, seriously, you can't make it up. The same card as in the other deck. And this is the energy of light, intuition, vision, imagination, prescience, knowing, perception, and mental states, which is the third eye chakra. So, wish upon a star, key concepts, intentions based on your desires and aspirations, the act of consciously committing to a vision, sacrificing something of value, gambling on yourself, trusting the dreams can become reality, the importance of daydreams. Do you believe your dreams can become real, or do you shrug them off and chide yourself for being unrealistic? What if you could trust that the world around you holds promise you have not yet realized? Perhaps the point all along is not how something can happen, but the power of wishing and intending. We humans have multiple ways of ritualize owning a dream we want to see manifest in physical form. Think of a wishing well, that was exactly the card yesterday. You infuse a coin with your intention, tuning into the feeling of having a particular experience. Tossing the coin into the well symbolizes the act of letting the how go, walking away and allowing the universe to do its part in the co-creative partnership. Another method is to wish upon a star. In doing so, you also look back to our origins, for we are all made of stardust. Today, allow yourself to dream and play with different realities. Even if it seems impossible, if it calls you and feels good, why not choose it? Wish upon a star, then live as if your wish were already true. Know that those beautiful dreams you have been nurturing are in the process of becoming real. Don't forget that the act of wishing, dreaming, and intending is more important than figuring out the how. It shows the universe you're serious about playing the game of life and you trust the essence of partnership. Remember, every dream you believe in and hope for is a call to a twinkling star. The answer will come, sometimes swiftly, sometimes more slowly. No wish is ever wasted. Yeah, and it's a child, right? The child, the connecting with your heart, with your inner child. The children don't see things as impossible until we tell them they are not possible. But for children, everything is possible. They believe everything, you know. You can convince them and they can already see it happen, you know. We are going to be in Leo season soon. Mercury is already in Leo, so yeah, and Venus is just about to move into Leo. So here we are. Okay, and the number 4, which will be the base chakra. Number 4, the energy earth. Money, family, inherited traits, survival, primitive instincts, security, stability, and the mental world. So yeah, so that's the base chakra. the foundation, yeah? Great and full, grateful. Concepts: the mindful practice of gratitude, knowing that we are enough, committing to your intentions, a sense of sufficiency, letting go of attachment to a form. Again, same thing, letting go, right? Before you can begin to understand the process of manifesting your desires, you need to practice deep gratitude and the willingness to share with others. This is the true nature of prosperity. It's not about the things you accumulate at all, it's about how you feel. You're invited to surrender to an important truth. There is always enough for you. There is enough time to do the things you need and desire to do, enough opportunities to express your talents and connect to your purpose, and enough magic circulating through the invisible world into the visible. Begin your day immersed in gratitude for everything you have and everything you can't yet see. The unmanifest, which begins with every breath you take. Know that you are enough and all your needs are being fulfilled. Even if you doubt this in some moments, no one success can make you feel small, and comparing yourself to others never works. Your life is brimming with unique potential. Focus on that. When you hold this feeling of gratitude, it acts as a magical open sesame to the floodgates of abundance. Couple that with a playful sense of detachment, and you'll find that miracles have an uncanny way of showing up in your life. Your intentions burst forth into reality with little effort on your part. There is hope brimming with potentiality. It's okay that you don't always trust this. You are not alone in holding the candle high for transformation. Right now, contemplate how being in the energy of enough makes you feel. Eventually, you will have no attachment to what you do or do not manifest in the material world, what you do or do not have. Then, like magic, you have more than enough. What a fascinating universe we live in. The universe based on the law of mirroring. So yeah, these two cards are like perfectly connected, right? Being grateful for what we have, and then the more will come, having the vision and the intention. Okay, well, like I said, I have tons of decks over here. Well, we're just gonna go in order. I have a let's do Cosmic Dancer, because I don't think I've ever used this one. Yeah, Cosmic Dancer, because we are all cosmic dancers. We are all stardust, right? We all just came here to have a experience, dancing to our tune, right? So let's do Cosmic Dancer, because yeah, this is a deck that I haven't used before. And then we see what else we have time for. Okay, I'll got it. Cosmic Dancer. Okay. Follow-up message. Follow-up message. Cosmic Dancer. What the Cosmic Dancer wants to tell us with regards to the current energies. Okay. Oh, this is too many. 3 cards came out. Okay, this is too many. Let's just get one. Just one card, please, Spirit. Okay. Find your motivation, number 11. Oh my gosh, look, it looks like a Sagittarius. It looks like Sagittarius. Choose your story, right? Sagittarius, and it looks like Sagittarius full moon. Wow. Well, we already had full moon in Sagittarius, but yeah, we are choosing our next direction. Find your motivation is number 11, the being of light, the full manifestation of who we came here to become, and the journey we came here to follow, and the purpose we came here to complete. Even though it's never truly done, we know it's never truly done. That's why we keep coming back. Okay, number 11. Find your motivation, right? The universe responds to your intentions, whether or not you know what they are. The more conscious, direct, and focused you are, the more you can successfully co-create with the universe to manifest the outcome you'd like to experience. I mean, come on. Oh, no kidding. Ask yourself what is motivating you in this situation. What do you ultimately want to build, offer, learn, receive, or achieve, and why? If your intention is born out of love and desire to bring more unity, harmony, and connection into your heart and the world, you will instantly experience more success by bringing this intention to your conscious awareness and phrasing it clearly and succinctly. Any intention that is less than pure, such as a desire to impress, gain attention, assert your superiority, assert your feelings of inferiority, or fulfill some sort of societal norm or expectation, will benefit immensely when you realign with the highest vibration and ultimate truth of who you are, which is simply love. This is the essence of alchemy, which is often defined as the Renaissance era art and science of transmuting base metal into gold. Spiritually, this is a metaphor for transforming worldly desires and mundane energies into transcendent beauty and divine magic. For example, if you dance to feel special or show your superiority, no matter how technically perfect your moves, the performance will lack true inspiration and awe. However, if you redirect that intention to embody divine light, your performance will blossom and will be remembered. Furthermore, within the collective consciousness, the positive and transformational effects of your performance will reverberate for months, years, and even decades to come. Once you state your intentions, door will fly open. Your next steps will become clear, and you will feel powerfully guided to take confident steps that propel you in the direction of your goal. To embody this energy through movement, start by stating your intention. And then stand in a long lunge, like as a warrior pose, with your front knees bent and back knee straight. Point your front toe forward, position your back foot at the right angle to your front toe, toes pointing out. Touch your middle and ring finger to your thumb tips on each hand. Extend your front arm straight in front of you and gaze over your index finger. Pull your back arm behind you, elbow bent, as if you are pulling an arrow backwards. Bring your intention to mind and come into a single-minded focus. When your intentions feel very clear and strong, open your fingers rapidly as you are releasing the arrow. Bring your ring and middle finger back to your thumb tips and repeat as desired. Your clear intention is like the tiny seed that contains the entire plan and potential for the fragment blossoming rose bush. Plant that seed and care for it lovingly, and the universe will be the rain, sunlight, and fresh air, the nature that nurture and sustain it. So yeah, here we go. So that's it. We're gonna keep it at that one. Strong message in itself. Okay, we are almost 1 hour 6 minutes. We're going to do Work Your Light from Rebecca Campbell, because it seems to me that these are somehow they follow each other. We have wishing on the start, set your intention, set your intention for the highest good of all that comes from your heart, not from your mind, ego mind. And now work your light. How are we gonna do that? What is the purpose to all? Work your light from Rebecca Campbell. Okay, there is a card. Soul family, of course. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Look at that, and the beautiful whales and dolphins. These are from Sirius, right? Dolphins and whales are from Sirius. Yes, just like the message said. We are always supported by everyone. Like I was, what they call it, spiritual sun, Sirius. Yes. And at the bottom is the pillar of light. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Yes. Because the families are coming together from the visible and invisible realm, because we are ascending no matter what you see around yourself. We are ascending. Believe that, because it's happening. You might not always see the proof for that in the outer world, but it is happening. Okay, let's see. So family, which cards is it? Which part? Oh my gosh, now it's closed. Okay, I found it. So this is a activation card, the soul family. and this one with the whales and the dolphins. And you see they're connecting with their third eye, right? Call in your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. It is time to call in your soul family and support team, people who get you at soul level, people who are the same kind of weird as you, people who are your chosen family. They are coming and they are looking for you. If you haven't found them yet, this is a sign that they are close by. But in order for them to find you and recognize you when they do, it is important that you stop dimming your light and truly let yourself to be seen. If you have already found them, then you are being called to let them support you and perhaps also assemble a wider support team. Your support team can consist of all type of people such as therapist, coach, mentor or healer. Tune in to what kind of support you need and work your light activation. Call in your support team now. So there's the soul family coming together, which is why I feel to go to States, because my soul sister is there and my very good friends are there. Okay, and then we have the pillar of light, which is the action card, I believe. Pillar of light. Okay, pillar of light. Okay, I got it. Here, we are ascending as a humanity. Your vibration is rising, you are the oracle. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for the light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Take time to meditate. Imagine yourself as a pillar of light, connecting the light of the heavens above with the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient scriptures speak about, raising your vibration and the vibration of the planet, linking the higher realms of the cosmos, guides, angels, and spirit with the ancient wisdom keepers and beings of planet Earth. They dance together. Oh my gosh, like the cosmic dancer, right? They dance together through you. They sing together through you. Without your body, voice, and creations, neither can be expressed. For too long, we've been taught that God is outside of us, giving away our power to angels and spirit guides. But without you, they do not have a voice. You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all the wisdom of the entire universe in the portal of your heart. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Literally, this is, oh my God, this is such a confirmation and validation for me. My ego is happy now. Because this is exactly what I was talking about for an hour. And literally, this is what the channeled message said, and this is literally what's going on astrologically. It's like insane. You know, so I'm really grateful for this, because I know that, okay, I'm not making it up, okay? Okay, in every cell of your body. So yeah, universe, what? You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all the wisdom of the entire universe in the portal of your heart. In every cell of your body, do not see the angels and guides as above you, for without you they have no way of communicating. You are the oracle. You are Rainbow Bridge. You are the pillar of light. And work your light activation. So here we go. Hold the card on your heart and say, I allow the light of the heavens and the light of the earth to flow through me now. I activate the codes of remembering within my cells and chakras. I activate my system as a rainbow bridge between heaven and earth. Here we go. Perfect. So beautiful. And we ran out of time, but there is a deck that really wants to speak. Our favorite, Alana Fairchild, with her 3 pages long messages, but it's really aligned with this one. This is the Lightworkers Oracle. And yeah, we won't be able to use the last deck, but this deck was actually the one I wanted to use the most, but it is the longest one as usual. But as proven previously, Alana Fairchild's deck always like are spot on, so I'm going to use it. Okay, so I'm sorry this video is going to be again long, but anyway, I'm just going to pull the card and see what happens. Okay, Lightworkers Oracle, what is the closing message to this reading, please, for the Lightworkers watching, please? Spirit, what is the message? Just one card, please. We don't have time for 2. Just one card. Okay, there's too many fell out. Earth healing, another number 11. Yep. Earth is going through healing process, reconnection with the inner child. You know, the angel is putting the angel has his hand on his heart chakra. You know, remember who you are. Remember what you came here to do. Yeah, number 38, 11. We are going through healing on a collective level, so we can let the past identities rest in peace. Okay, earth healing. You are making a real contribution to the planet through your spiritual journey. Remember this and believe that your needs will be generously met with the earth and the universe. What you are doing matters and you will be supported. The earth recognizes you. She sees you as a conduit through which she is fed higher frequencies of light, love, and divine presence. So this is again confirmation of the previous deck. You are the oracle. It's all happening, you know, through you. This assists her on the journey of her own evolution. Earth is an exceptionally beautiful and powerful divine being in her own right. Yet she, like every other being, benefits from the assistance of higher frequencies which offer a loving hand to help raise her vibration and continue her evolution. You are here to have your spiritual life journey in a human body. Part of that process will involve sharing your light with the earth itself. This might see you take on the role of a healer, guide, mentor, or teacher to others on the path. It may see you doing work with the natural world, with various earth-centered causes such as conservation and animal welfare, organics and biodynamics farming, and ethical food production. It might involve an active prayer life that is ongoing through your day, praying for assistance, compassion, clearing, and blessing when you see an ancient accident on the road, an animal or person who seems to be suffering, or an item on the news that you know needs light and healing. From the most obvious gestures to the more subtle, the oracle tells you that you are powerful enough to make a meaningful contribution to the quality of consciousness upon earth. Earth asks you to do your work with quiet confidence and dedication. She gives thanks for all you have done and acknowledges her love for you. She will support you in your work by providing material means for you whilst you are here on this planet. This includes financial support, housing, food, and human and animal relationships. She will also provide guidance for your progress, opportunities to grow and expand your field of influence, education, and training opportunities that means to take advantage of them, and the chance to apply what you have learned in a real world context. The more you devote yourself to your task on earth healing, the more the earth will support you in fulfilling your inspired goals. If you have been wondering if the spiritual work you are doing is making a contribution, take this oracle as validation that it is. What you are doing matters. Yes, you are going to expand and grow in the work you are doing and the impact that you have in the world because you are capable of that. But you are already helping in ways that you might not realize, but that the earth and the spiritual worlds do. You have loved the earth enough to take human form and do your work here. She knows it and she will reward you richly for it. Keep working, shining and growing, dear one. Your presence here is so needed and honored. So I think this is definitely the perfect closing card, because if anybody is doubting that they are here for a reason and whatever they do in matters, this is your confirmation that it and you do. So yes, so with this, I would like to close the session. I would like to close this space. I would like to thank my guides and my higher self and all the beings of light that were present during this reading, during this message that was being aired into the ether, whoever hears it. And I thank you, and thank you everyone for listening. As I mentioned, this is my last video from Bansko, Bulgaria, because I will be traveling again, but I see you on the other side. Much love to everyone. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves, and we'll speak again soon. Bye for now.